We're continuing Tech on Deck. It's Thursday. It's a little bit more relaxed Tech on Deck, but we have some friends here from Boise, Idaho, who are showing me the future of virtual reality. And well, introduce yourselves. Who are you?
My name is Dan Thurber. I am the founder of IonVR. We have been developing a headset in stealth for a year and a half now, and on the 3rd of July we had an article come out in Forbes showcasing our technology, and now we're out telling the world about it. And we just got here to show these guys what it is that we've created, and to prove our point. And
so, and the reason, and by the way, we have some other people. So who are you?
Hi, my name is Brooke Linville. I'm the CEO of IonVR, the VR company that is here demonstrating our headset, and we believe that we have the highest quality VR headset for mobile, and that we're the future virtual reality for the mobile mainstream.
Yeah, and who are you?
And I'm Joel Newton. I'm the co-founder and president of the virtual reality company. So we're a VR content. We don't make any hardware, but we love Ion's hardware, and so I'm here with them, spending some time with them, and figuring out how to get all of our great content playing really well on their headset.
And who are you?
Hi, I'm Kate.
You're Kate. You work for Scott?
I work for Scott.
Yeah. And you just got your first experience on virtual reality. What do you think?
I'm not even sure how to process it. Like, it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. It was like you were on Space Mountain at Disneyland, but sitting here, and I'm still like really confused about how that's working. It was like, I'm speechless. It was so cool.
And let's come back over here. This is why I'm so bullish on VR, because I sat outside, the Oculus Rift's booth at CES this year, and watched people come out of the demos, and they all give me that kind of reaction, like, "Holy shit, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen," right? So I'm very bullish on VR, but there's so much coming, and nobody's experienced it yet, and yes. I can't really, put you inside this headset, and let people experience it over Facebook or over YouTube, because you have to have one of these headsets on to get to this level where people believe in it, right?
Yeah.
It's almost worth looking as goofy as you do wearing it to experience what you did. Now, I put two demos on. The one, which was the graphical interface looking inside the brain, which was intended to give you a feel for how it could have medical applications. You can imagine, or gaming. As a surgeon, being able to turn your head and see things that are otherwise so small and really live inside the environment. Gaming for sure. And then I asked, okay, what's a realistic application? They put on a fairly low-res version of a Paul McCartney concert. And at first without the music, and I'm looking around, then they turn the music on. It was totally immersive. I felt like I was sitting in the 5th row of a live concert.
And you didn't even have good headphones.
No. See? Like, you're at the concert. I don't physically understand how that's happening.
It takes time for your brain to process. You're like, wait, how is this even possible?
Well, now
you start to think about all the applications. Well, why should I go anywhere?
Now you know why. And I should have brought my virtual reality camera. I have 2 VR cameras here. That's why Rackspace bought me these cameras, so I can play around with capturing 360-degree video for these things. But it's really hard to produce this kind of content. We'll talk about content in a minute. It is.
Not when you have how much horsepower they have.
Yeah. When you have a team and a lot of Mac Pros and access to the coolest cameras too, because the camera technology is radically changed. So let's just talk about headsets for a second. Yep. People have heard about Oculus Rift. They probably have not had it on their face. They've heard some of the hype. But there's, at the high end, the $1,500 level, there's going to be Oculus Rift, there's going to be Valve, there's going to be Sony. Do those matter? And you're probably going to say no, because you have one in the $200 level, right? Which is
no, they definitely matter. It fills a void. I mean, like a phone's processing power is limited in comparison to what you can do with a massive graphical SLI gaming rig. And while that may provide more of an immersive experience or a better experience, some of the interesting demos at Valve's they've done in the past is they had a demo where it was old Facebook pages, super low resolution, and you basically would walk out on a plank and you would actually feel like you would fall to your death. And it was just an interesting, comparison, but I think it serves a purpose, and there's a lot of amazing things that you can do. And of course, at the price point, the product that we're showcasing, we're able to bring the level of smoothness that you get from that technology and that level of high quality.
Now at the low end is something like this cardboard. Google's giving away these at conferences. Google Cardboard, they probably are around $30 retail. And you're in this mid-level where you use your mobile phone, and the mobile phone goes into the cardboard as well. Yeah. I've seen the merge before. This is going to be, I don't know, $130. You can put your phone in, and yours is sharper and has less jitter and makes you less nauseous than the others. Yeah. So tell me what's going on with yours. Yours is about a $200 level, right?
Yep. And ultimately, as I got into this, the goal for me was to create. Was to allow the phone's processing power to be leveraged the most. And I realized that if you're not using expensive computing distortions, chromatic aberration algorithms, you can actually process more. And as I was going down the path of optics, I really noticed how big of a difference it made, because electronic distortion can be off, optics don't lie. We have a patent pending system that we have developed that makes the motion blur and the VR sickness a thing of the past through some technology that we have spent a very long time.
Now tell me why, because people who are watching this video haven't had these headsets on, yes, and they don't know the cognitive problems. Because you can actually feel sick if you wear some of the early ones, right?
Or even this one without your technology working. When you turn that button, it clearly, you're doing something special.
How long did it take you to get sick?
It wasn't immediate, and there was a slight sense of disbelief as to whether I was going to get sick. And you could tell within a minute it started getting vertigo, and I didn't want to feel it much longer than that.
And then as soon as we put it in, you were able to be back in.
Yeah, it was pretty remarkable.
That is the focus, because the VR company, the geniuses over there, the content guys, they want users to be able to be in the headset and not have to pull it off. Because how can you build a great story and have a captive audience if you cannot have people in the headset? Yeah. We are.
So these headsets are not all the same. No. Even the ones that you put your mobile phone into, the optics are different.
Yes.
And you're running some magic stuff on the phone, or
it's within the lens system.
Within the lens system, and you're doing things with your eyes to not get sick.
Yes, we are.
Because I'm trying to bait you into talking about your technology.
No, I know. I've been in a lot of meetings behind closed doors. I've gotten pretty well versed. There's some magical stuff that we would love to do. A follow-up interview where we would love to get more information.
Yeah. But it does work.
Well stated, by the way.
But it does work. It does work, and people who are going to get into these headsets, they're going to go to the local Best Buy or whatnot, or over my house, because I'm going to have them all, right? You're going to come over to my house and play some games and watch some movies. And some are going to make you sick, and some aren't. And this one doesn't make you sick. How did you get into this world, and why
in Boise?
Why in Boise? Yeah.
What the heck is that about?
Isn't that where they grow potatoes?
Sorry, no disrespect. A little disrespect.
I will tell you, in meetings, I try not to say that. No disrespect to Boise. In fact, when Joel landed last night, I said, "Welcome to the tech capital of the world, Boise." Not dogging on it, but. I had access to a very early Oculus Rift FKit 1. Before I did this, I actually did cloud infrastructure, web hosting, pen testing, security auditing, the world you know very well. And I had actually just finished my public cloud and was very proud of it. And I got to see the Oculus Rift and basically said, well, that was cool. Now it's time, and focused solely on VR, 100%. I made I made Oculus Wireless, within about 2 months of it. We made it battery operated. We used WHDI to send over the HDMI 0 latency.
WHDI is?
It's HDMI protocol. It's very low latency. It's kind of like Horizon View, VMware, kind of stuff like that. And we, we had I cut the wires, made it all battery operated, and we actually walked around in this, and it was really fun. We had a controller at first, and I remember sitting there, in the technology, and I walked down a set of stairs while on a roller coaster and puked because it was so physically nauseating, and that's really what drew me into it, because I was like, wow, that's for me to elicit that response. There's something powerful here. And as I was, getting further into it with that, one day I looked at my phone, and I'm like, the Oculus is 720p, and at that time it was the Note 3. And I'm like, 1080p. Well, hold on a second. So I ended up, I made Google Cardboard at the end of 2013, where I, made a little border around the phone and put the lenses in there, and just did, something side by side. And I was like, wow, this works. And I built my first Lego VR headset. I called it the Oculus at that time. And I really wish I had a picture of it, because it's actually really, I'm nerdly proud of it, because it was all, I spent a lot of time making it perfect. But it held the lenses to anyhow, I'll get a picture to show you. And I went and showed that to people, and they were amazed. And Google Cardboard wasn't even out at that time. And I had progressed down that path, and immediately got interested in better optics. I went to Edmund Optics and bought the most expensive aspheric precision lenses I possibly could. I was like, wow, this looks so much better. And I didn't even know why. At that point, and I now know why. But I ended up making a headset with that, and I thought it looked amazing. And I look back on that, and it was crap. I actually put that old headset on, and I'm like, wow, people were impressed by this. But it's such a groundbreaking, like you're saying, someone first new gets into, like, wow, this is amazing. And at that time, we're trying to.
We're here in Scott's house, with the Scott's Poodles, the famous Poodles.
No worries. So then, after that, we are, I'm showing this to people, and they're getting sick, immediately getting sick. And I'm like, I have a product that I think is amazing, but people cannot be in it. So I spent literally months going over all the different ways to make that work, and I ended up coming up with that solution that you're seeing, and it works wonderfully.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
We're pretty proud of it. It's. We think it's pretty awesome, and it's over a year and a half of a lot of work and a lot of tinkering and a lot of development. But we are incredibly proud, and we are excited. We're really excited to show it off, because we believe that it's the best.
It's the best I've seen so far in the mobile phone.
Absolutely.
It's a different class. Oculus and Valve can throw more triangles at your face, and therefore you can imagine a more immersive video game kind of scenario. If I'm going to do a Call of Duty or something like that, I probably want the higher end, right?
They're completely different markets. Yeah, we're talking about a mainstream market that has access to a smartphone, and we believe that Oculus and Valve have great products and great opportunities in the desktop computing world. But we also know that mobile is where most people are, and so we're meeting them there, and we're providing the best experience that we possibly can.
Very cool.
One quick note, as we were going throughout this process, I had the fine opportunity to meet Joel in the early days of getting out of stealth, and got to see.
Joel, you might come over here, because the light is coming this way anyways. You got to see
Quite informal.
The real power of VR. I was lucky enough to see a demo that Robert Stromberg, the director of Maleficent, did.
He's my co-founder.
And it actually touched me emotionally. And I'm supposed to be a guy who's big and strong, and that doesn't but it was very amazing. And ever since I was really sold on the power of content, and I really believe in the virtual reality company and the vision that they have. And this is the founder, Joel,
Co-founder.
co-founder.
Yeah, there's 4 of us. So.
Let me cut here, and I'm going to start part 2 and talk about content.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.